Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Tanisha, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to speak about connecting with your higher self, learning and knowing how to connect with your soul. Okay, so I have some notes that I want to share with you guys today. Okay, and then also I have learned this through my own experience when I was in a hypnosis state, but then also through my experiences. So how you connect with your higher self or connecting with the soul is learning how to tap into your intuition, knowing how to tap into that feeling. Okay, that's how our higher self speaks to us. Okay, for instance, you may have the intuition that something doesn't feel right. You could hear a voice telling you like, oh, you know, something is off, or that person energy may be negative. Trust your intuition, trust your instincts. The more you learn how to trust yourself and trust your instincts that comes from our soul, is the more you align yourself more with the higher self, the more you will be able to gain clarity of your higher self, where you won't have to look into external factors for guidance. The higher self speaks in a quiet voice, different than the ego voice, which is more loud, you know, fearful, cause a little bit of confusion and doubt. Whereas the higher self speaks in a voice of knowing, you know, it's quiet. Most of the time when you ask a question, the first voice that speaks is your higher self, and then the ego mind tends to come in with the doubt and stuff. For example, you may have the intuition that, okay, I need rest. You know, your mind, your body is telling you like, hey, you need rest, you need to sleep. But then the ego mind may come in and be like, oh, well, I have this and this to do. I need to be productive, proactive, where your soul is telling you, you need to sleep, you need some rest, you need to take a break, you know, you need to pull back, that way your energy could be revived. So a way to help, especially when it comes to like you practicing to hear your higher self more, or practicing on how it feels to have that experience to hear your higher self speaking. Meditation is so awesome and so beneficial for our overall being. So meditation really helps to tune out that monkey voice, that chatterbox voice, which is the ego mind. It really helps to put us in a state of clarity when it comes to our mind and our thoughts, helping us just to kind of tune in and focus in on the breathing. What I do during meditation, once I get to a state where I really don't hear that chatterbox voice talking so much or talking at all, but I'm fully tuned into my breathing, I will focus, I will pay attention to when I'm all the way focused on my breathing, and then tune into what messages comes through during that inhalation and exhalation. exhale. I can't talk today. I can't speak today. And I tune into that soft voice that comes in to bring me a message. That's your higher self speaking at that moment. And or when you're meditating and that soft voice comes in, but then you hear the other voice that is like, oh no, that can't be so. I'm probably making that up. Become aware of that, because it will start to teach you the difference between when your higher self is speaking and then also when the ego is speaking. You know, our ego is, I'm not here to speak negative on the ego. Our ego is there to protect us, basically to protect us from things that we have went through, things that we have experienced. So that's why it comes in sometimes through the state of fear and doubt, okay? Where the higher self comes in soft-spoken with love, clarity, and reassurance, okay? Let me see what else I have on here. Also, especially when you're in the beginning stages of learning how your higher self speaks to you, how the higher self sounds, you want to pay attention to the synchronicities, the signs, and the confirmations that comes after those messages. Because what that does is it brings you confirmation on the messages that you had received from your higher self. That way you can be like, oh, okay, that was my higher self that was speaking. I'm seeing these signs on that exact message, or I'm seeing the synchronicities in regards to that exact message. Especially when it comes to you asking your higher self, your spirit guides, your spirit teams, certain questions. They tend to answer you through the higher self. Sometimes you'll get the message right there and then, but when you're in that learning state of learning your higher self, pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, to receive that confirmation on, okay, I see, this is how my higher self sounds. I'm starting to distinguish the difference between my higher self speaking and then also my ego self speaking. But trust yourself, trust your instincts. A lot of the times as well, the higher self will speak through us through our feelings, how we feel about something. I think I had stated this in one of my other videos, but when you're doing something that you love, you feel that through the soul, that is your soul, your higher self enjoying whatever it is that you are doing. When you feel off, when you feel stuck, when you're feeling negative emotions or negative energies, trust that intuition that your soul is picking up on those external energies, or maybe energies that are going on within yourself. But those emotions, thoughts, energies are being pulled up to the surface so that you may become aware of them, but then also to work on them as well, to ask more questions in regards to those emotions, energies, or feelings that you are experiencing. Okay, so yes, we, especially at this time, we really have to get back to learning and knowing how it is to connect with our soul, connect with the higher self, because it's really going to help guide us, bring us clarity on our everyday life, but then also to help us on our journey, really help to guide us on our journey. It's so needed. But then also when we connect more with the higher self and our soul, it really helps to guide us from making mistakes or making the wrong choices. You know, it really do. So I really, really hope this video has helped you guys out there. I hope that you have learned something through this video, and I send you guys so much love, okay? So much love, so much light, so much peace on your journey. It is so much needed. And make sure that you're patient with yourself through all of your processes, all of the transitions that we're going through right now. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself so much love, the same love that you give out to others, the same patience that you give out to others. Make sure that you are giving that same energy to yourself, okay? Make sure you're giving that same energy to yourself, and then allow that love to overflow from within then outwards. That way it may flow onto others, okay? I love you all, and peace, love, and light.